Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, 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 it's me, Tamara. Hey, 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 it's me, Tamara. And it's episode 101. I passed 100 of. Yeah. Okay. So, welcome back to the show. If you're a regular listener, I'm going to start with y'all this time because I always start with the new listeners, giving them love first. So, all my regular listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all coming back week after week. You don't have to. You could be spending your time doing anything else, but the fact that you take the time to listen and or watch me on YouTube, which if you're not, you should totally be checking out my YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in. All my new listeners, I appreciate y'all coming through. New episodes drop every Thursday like clockwork at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. An episode is going to drop on all major podcast platforms. I have not missed a week. This is week 101 in a row. Pretty proud of that, just because if you know me and you've been on this journey with me, then you know that consistency was not a strength of mine in the beginning. So super proud of that. Let's see what else. Oh, okay. Podcast Happy Hour is this Saturday, October 30th at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific on Chris's platform. The link to her Twitter is in my episode notes, so it'll be streamed to Twitter. If you want to watch it on YouTube, go to her link tree, which is in her Twitter bio. So, I mean, not the link to her episode, the link to her Twitter, the link to all the Podcast Happy Hour crew's Twitter is in the episode notes every week. Follow all of us, because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to keep up with where we're at every month. This month, we're at Chris's. It's a Halloween extravaganza. I got my costume supplies. So if you want to see who I will be, you got to tune in. Again, that's on Chris's platform at, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. Y'all, I never had to think about that as much as I have to think about it now. And it's not because of streaming purposes. It's because we all literally live in different time zones. Audrey and Autumn are on the East Coast. Me and Jay are Central Time, and Khris is Pacific Time. So it's like we have to think about that just to plan group hang stuff. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Podcast Happy Hour. Podcast Happy Hour is this Saturday. We're all going to be dressed up. You got to guess who's who. Mine, like I said, I got all my supplies. I like to create. So I'm pretty excited about what I have come up with. I was able to get all the supplies that I needed to make it happen. So you got to tune in if you want to see. I might, after Podcast Happy Hour, maybe put a picture on my IG, but I don't know. It just depends how I'm feeling. But you definitely will see it if you're on Podcast Happy Hour. Let's see what else. If you missed either of the live shows last week, so we had the West Side Connection karaoke battle. We also had the basically Candy Corn Coalition truce with the Candy Corn Coalition must be destroyed. You feel me? I do not eat candy corn. It is disgusting. To all you listeners that eat it, I pray for your insides, because you just don't seem to care about them. Anywho, so I had 2 live shows last week. The links to those will be in the episode notes as well if you want to catch the replay. Podcast shout out this week. I am definitely going to do it with solo episodes, not when I have a guest, because I don't know. I kind of decided First of all, this is the real reason, y'all. I ain't even about to make it seem like it has anything to do with the guest. I have a lot of stuff in my episode notes every week. I have all the pod crews Twitter information. I'll have if you're not following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the links to that is in the episode notes. Of course, I have the regular description. I have links to both of my merchandise sites, even though I have been really trash with promoting it, but your girl got a lot going on, and the main focus is trying to build the business, which I also have the link to my website. I have, if you want to support me with send me some PayPal, buy me a coffee. Do I have my Cash App in there? I don't know. And then I have the information to the beat maker for my intro and the producer slash performer of, so like I have a lot of information every week. So when a guest comes on, of course I'm gonna have the links to all their stuff, be it if they're a podcaster, their podcast, social media, whatever they're doing. So it just became a lot that sometimes I'd have to take other information out because there wasn't enough characters available. You know what I'm saying? So that's really why I don't do it anymore when there's a guest. But this week, because I'm solo dolo in this thing, At Risk Therapy. You definitely got to check them out. It's basically exactly what it says, At Risk Therapy. You'll have either one host or several hosts all having a discussion about a bunch of different topics. It's really well put together. They got some nice music there. I say all that because they're a newer podcast. I think they've only maybe been out a couple months, maybe a little bit longer. Forgive me if I'm incorrect on that. But it's brought to you by Baylorism, which Baylor has been a consistent guest on here. So definitely check that out. Although Baylor is not, let me clarify, he does have episodes, but it's other people, but it's brought to you. Anyways, just check it out. The link to that will be in the episode notes. All right. Did I get all the announcements out the way? Yeah. Okay. So before I get into this week's, I saw a tweet because I did see a tweet. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into Sheeba S, baby, and the S is for she be tripping sometimes. And if you don't know who Sheeba is, that means you only know me as a podcaster, because Sheeba has been around as soon as I began wearing my hair natural. So let's talk about my natural hair journey now, simply because I just feel like it, but also because I got to give you some background information. So I want to say probably 07 might have been the last time I had a relaxer. I don't remember. We'll just say that. Sounds good. Okay, so 07 was the last time I had a relaxer. I didn't start wearing my hair out naturally, like styling it, until I want to say 2012. So in between that time, I would get protective styles and then just little by little trim off the relaxer, because I, at that point, didn't want to just do a big chop, as they call it, when you basically cut all the relaxer off or all your hair off, which I have done that though. So it wasn't until 2012 we got to the place where we had all the relaxer out, and then we had all my natural hair, and I kind of started wearing my hair naturally. And then 2013, I cut all of my hair off. I don't know, or it might have been 2014. Yep. Nope, 2013. You know what? It was 2014. But anyway, so 2012 to 2014, I was just styling it, learning it. And that is when Sheeba S baby is my hair. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have natural hair, then you probably like, why especially if you're not black, no shade, but you probably don't understand why I am not the only woman who wears her hair naturally that has named her hair. And the reason why Sheeba is because she be doing her own thing sometimes. Like when I twist it at night or do whatever I have to do to try to get it how I want it, I just have to go with what she's giving me in the morning when I untwist it. Sometimes we are on the same page, and sometimes she be tripping, and that's where the S came into play. And sometimes I gotta, when she's tripping, just make it work and fluff it up, pick it up, whatever I gotta do to make it work, because I mean it's my hair, so I gotta go with what she's given. So that's why Sheeba is her own entity. Yes, she lives on top of my head, but she be doing her own thing. And so that is when Sheeba came about. 2014, cut all my hair off. And when I say all my hair, I cut it all off. Like I had a brush cut. I don't know what it was about the age of 34, because I did it the day after my 34th birthday. I don't know what it is about that I wanted to just start all over, because I've always had a lot of hair. Like that's never been an issue. Even when I wore a relaxer, I have always just would cut my hair for whatever reason. And I cut it all off, and then kept cutting it, kept cutting it. And then after a few months, I was like, okay, I'm over this. I want to grow it back. And then I would wear wigs. And then when it got to the point of where it was long enough to get braided again, then I did that. And then here we are. What is this, 2021? And Sheeba is out here doing her thing. Y'all don't even understand. Like, if you're watching, or if you follow me on Instagram, if you've seen pictures, you've seen whatever, because I was telling y'all when I was wearing wigs and protective style, your girl was not bald headed out here. I just didn't really feel like dealing with my hair because I had so much going on. So I mean, I washed it, I would oil my scalp and all that stuff to take care of it. So I wasn't just like doing nothing, but I'm just saying, like, it was very easy for me and more convenient to just have it in protective style. However, now that I have more time, well, you know what I mean. Now that I can prioritize my time how I want to, I decided that I'm just gonna start wearing my hair again. And the thing about natural hair, the thing about Sheeba, okay, let's not pretend like I don't really call her Sheeba. This is not me just saying this. If you know me outside of podcasting, you already know. You probably can actually look back through my IG photos throughout the years and see where I've called her Sheeba before. Anywho, I added the S baby a little bit more recently because she do be tripping, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about Sheeba is that, and I'm not going to stretch my hair out to prove it because then it'll mess up my style, and Sheeba is doing her thing today. But if you go through my IG, you'll see a video. I had my hair in twists and I was stretching one out just to show y'all what shrinkage is. So basically shrinkage for Sheeba is when I wash my hair and condition it and do all that stuff, I don't blow dry it. So I will twist it in some, like, add all the moisturizers and oils and all that good stuff, twist it in some form or fashion, and then just let it air dry overnight. However, because I have low porosity hair, which I just kind of really learned a lot about what that means, that's why it takes forever for my hair to dry. So sometimes my hair will still be a little bit wet in the morning after wash day, but it is what it is. We just make it work. So the thing about Sheeba though is that you wash it, you do all that. If I was to blow dry it, then it would just be whatever length. But like I said, I don't. And so shrinkage is when your hair, basically it's like it's reverting and it's running away from the atmosphere and trying to shrink back into your head. That's the only way that I've ever really been able to describe it. Like, I don't understand what it is about the atmosphere, what y'all got going on out here, ozone layer, pollution, whatever it is, that Sheeba and others like Sheeba do not really want to just display our full length, their full length, you know what I'm saying, without shrinkage. So the thing about it though is when you do styles, like back in the day before my hair got to the length it is now, I used to have to, like, I would add gel, which I really didn't like doing all that, but I would add gel and all this stuff to kind of like preserve the length to have the style be how I wanted it, you know what I'm saying? However, Sheeba S baby, you know what I'm saying? She is out here flourishing, living her best life. Today is a good hair day. That's part of what brought this about, because besides this tweet that we go get into, I didn't really have a topic in mind. I have talked to you all a lot. I really have, between the 2 live shows, the bonus episode with Khris, where we are doing the U breakdown every week, which we are going to do that for all 10 episodes of season 3. And then we'll just continue that. Hopefully a season 4 comes back. But I've talked to y'all a lot. I also do the weekly, weekly teaching videos for my company, actually bi-weekly, because I do a Wednesday wisdom, and I do then the Saturday free game. That's what it is. So it's like, I didn't really have a topic, but y'all know what it is. I'll just talk about whatever's going on, and that's just what it is. I never have an issue with coming with the episode, but Sheeba is out here just flourishing. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And she's finally reached the length that when I style it and when there's shrinkage, like shrinkage can't hold me back for what I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Sheeba is flourishing. Life is great. There are still things that are not happening fast enough. If y'all have noticed, my brand has not launched, which is super frustrating, but sometimes things are just out of your control. I've literally done all that I can do with this situation because I do not want to fill out the trademarking paperwork myself. I'm sure I could. One, I don't want to take the time to do it, but two, there's just certain things that I would rather leave to the professionals. Like all my business paperwork, I could have filled it out myself, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad I went through the program that I went through, because I didn't know about the other business structures until I was taught about them. And all I had ever heard was LLC, which the vision that I have for my company, that doesn't fit into that mold. You know what I'm saying? So I done lost my train of thought, y'all. What was I talking about? Let's see if it could come back. Y'all, let me tell y'all. What I do love about podcasting is I love that when I lose my train of thought, I just add that in. I really do minimal, and when I tell y'all minimal editing, literally minimal editing. Y'all get all the y'all get all the messing up on words, y'all get all the I lost my train of thought, and I do that on purpose because I could do more editing. It's not like I don't have editing software, but it's just y'all are literally writing my train of thought with this show. So it just is what it is. I can only give y'all what I got. I haven't said that in a while. So I love podcasting though, because I can include all of that stuff in there. Those bi-weekly teaching videos that I do for my company, those are so hard because I only have max 2 minutes 45 seconds, but really I try to keep it under 2 minutes and under, because you only can post videos up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds on Twitter, and I'd rather just post it directly to each site rather than send the link from TikTok, because I just feel like if it's right there, more easily accessible, it's a higher chances of having more visibility versus trying to make somebody go somewhere else to watch it or whatever. And that's just always been my thinking with a lot of things when it comes to like promoting and all that. So it is hard though, because y'all hear I be messing up on my words. Y'all hear I be losing my train of thought. I don't script any of the stuff with podcasting. I may have an idea of what I want to talk about. I may not. And it's getting more and more that unless I have a guest, I kind of just talk to y'all about what's going on, because there's so much going on that apparently y'all want to hear about, because y'all keep coming back. That's why I say I appreciate you. Like I genuinely appreciate y'all. But with them videos, man, I have to write a script now. Not so much the Wednesday wisdom video, because that's more about like stuff I've gone through and kind of how I want to encourage people. But who knows though? It might get to the point where I write scripts for that too. But definitely the Saturday free game, I am literally, it's scripted and it has to be, because otherwise it's not going to be concise. It's not going to be, I'm going to lose my train of thought. I'm going to have an idea of what I want to say when I start it. And then when I get done, that's not what, oh, excuse me, that's not what's going to be. That's not what's going to come out. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have to script those, and it's, but I figured out how to like have fun with it. I even did a bloopers video. I wish I had kept older videos because I could have had more a diverse, you know what I'm saying, visuals for the bloopers, because I mess up literally every time. There's maybe, and I might be lying about this, but at max there has been maybe one time that I was able to get it done in one take. Like, it just, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. It's so hard. But this is what I love about podcasting, because y'all don't care about none of that. Like, and if you do, you don't tell me, because it's not like I'm gonna change the way I do my show. We almost 2 years in this thing, so this is just is what it is when it comes to this. Definitely gonna be new series and all that stuff, and I'll keep, as I come up with like, ooh, I want to do this, I'll definitely do that. But when it comes to like letting y'all ride my train of thought, it just is what it is on that. Okay. That's why I appreciate y'all. So before we get out of here, let's go ahead and get into this I saw a tweet segment. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, let's get into it. I only got one for y'all this week. All right. So shout out to Penrose, which, you know, he was on the Candy Corn Coalition. Candy Corn Coalition must be destroyed live show. He's been on here other times, spoken word night, whatever. So this is not anyone who's new, especially if you're a fellow podcaster, a part of our same community. But when I saw this tweet, I was just like, this is so true. And like I said, when I started this, I saw a tweet segment. I don't think you're ever gonna see me put a tweet up of somebody that I know to bash. I can 100% guarantee you won't see that. It don't mean I don't see stuff that I'd be like, but that's your business, tweet what you want, and I just keep scrolling, because that's not what I'm here for. Now, if I see somebody I don't know, it's still not going to be to bash, because that's just not who I am. But when I bring on people that I know, it's going to be something that really is like thought provoking, or really kind of lines up with the stuff that I already talk about on here. Or maybe it was just super funny. But in most cases, it's going to be the more thought provoking ones that I see y'all tweet. And so what the tweet says, if you're not watching, because if you're watching, it's been up on the screen for a minute now, but it says, did you know that in Black families, if you disagree with an elder, you're being disrespectful? And this is how I'm going to end basically the talking, is that, and let's put it back up. Let's just put it back up. Let's just put it back up. And let's just really dive into this real quick, because that is so toxic. And I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that I have not experienced that, because I have. It doesn't matter who, because that's not what we're here for. But what people have to realize, especially as your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, younger cousins, whatever, become adults, and even before that, we are all our own individual people, selves, whatever. We have our own minds, our own ways that we think. And just because let me take it off, because I want y'all to see me if you're watching. Just because you are the parent, just because you are the older cousin, just because you are the older sibling, just because you are the grandparent, auntie, uncle, wherever generations before whoever you're speaking to, just because you are that person does not mean that you are right. It does not mean that that younger person, I don't care if it's a kid. I will tell you with my kids, and they are going to start, we're going to start the four of us doing episodes. And, but if you know my kids, you could go ask them. Just because I am their parent does not mean that I am always right. Yes, I have more wisdom in some areas because I'm not, my kids, like, my kids are, they really impress me with where they're at to be. Janae's about to be 18 on Sunday. Oh, every time I think about it, it's so crazy because she's the baby. She already is done with high school. She finished high school October 1st. I had allowed her, between all the transition and just um her wanting to focus on just graduating early, I did allow her to quit her previous job. So she was at McDonald's for over a year, and I allowed her to quit. I think also, as y'all know, she had a lot of stuff she just needed to navigate with her mental health and get in a better place with that. And so it's not like she has bills. So I was like, yeah, you could quit. And then she finished school and she actually just got a job, a full-time job. She got hired yesterday. And it's crazy because it's the type of job she's always wanted, but she couldn't do it before because her hours are going to be 10 to 6 and school, and you know what I'm saying, it just wouldn't allow for that. So she's really happy, excited to start work on Tuesday. I'm really proud of her because I just set certain expectations, monthly goals with her, broke it down to weekly goals of how many jobs she needed to apply for per day, Monday through Friday. And then that kind of determined whether or not she got to go do whatever she wanted to do. She had other things too, but her turning 18 is just wow, because it's like, I mean, I'm only 41. I became a mom at 19. So all of my adult life has been parenting kids. And now I'm at this place where, like, they kind of do their thing. I do my thing. We do our stuff together, but it's like they're nowhere near as dependent, not even necessarily for me to get them places because, you know, people have cars and stuff like that. So it's kind of like it's such a crazy season of life right now. But let's back it up, because my point is, there have been times that my kids have had to, like, I don't want to say check me because that almost sounds like they're being disrespectful, but correct me on something or even educate me or have shifted my thinking on something as we were having a discussion because they didn't agree with me. And my kids, like, disagreeing with someone does not equal disrespect. I need y'all to get that through y'all heads. If you think that, even if it's just elders and all that aside, just because someone has a different opinion than you, excuse me, does not mean that they are being disrespectful. Now, if they're out here, oh, you bitch ass nigga, this and this, fuck you, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That is disrespectful. That is unnecessary to do all that. But if somebody is simply respectfully communicating their opinion or their side of a discussion, and if it doesn't line up with yours, y'all either got to agree to disagree, you got to see their side, but don't you dare try to tell them they're being disrespectful just because they disagree with you, just because you're the elder, because that's some bull and that's hella toxic. And basically what you're showing that child, grandchild, whatever, is that they can't think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, when election season came around and it was Kayliana's first time, we went and we voted together. I never told her who to vote for, and this was her first time voting. What I did is I told her what is most important to you, find out what each candidate stands for, and if their values and their beliefs and their character and whatever lines up with your values, your beliefs, your character, and the things that are important, not your character, but the things that are important to you, that is who you vote for. And so we watched the debates together and all that stuff. She voted for who she voted for. I voted for who I voted for. We happened to vote for the same person, but it's not because I told her to vote for who I was voting for. You know what I'm saying? That is how you're supposed to raise people, because when you raise people to fear thinking for themselves, because that's ultimately what you're instilling in them when you try to tell them that they're being disrespectful. And I sound a little, I feel like I sound, let me calm down. But y'all know healthy relationship dynamics is something that I'm super, super duper passionate about. That's why I got my degree in psychology. You know what I mean? But you're ultimately teaching them that it is not okay to think for themselves. And when they are outside of the four walls of your house, like, then what? Then they can be brainwashed by whoever. That's why I've raised my kids the way that I've raised them and have the conversations that I have with them, because I know that they're not always going to be dependent on us. And I can see by the way they advocate for themselves that between me and their dads, because I'm not going to make it seem like I've just raised these kids solely by myself with no type of influence from their dads. But it's like, you have to train up children, the next generation, to be able to think for themselves, make their own decisions. And even if you disagree with their choices or whatever, because I'm not going to say that I disagree with everything that my kids are doing or have done or probably even will do, but that's their lives and they have to live it. And I've found so much peace, like letting go in that regard, and just letting them know that they can still come talk to me about anything, regardless of whether I agree with their choices or not. So if you out here trying to make your younger, whoever, your kids, whatever, think they're being disrespectful just because they disagree, even unless they're actually disrespectfully disagreeing. But if they're respectfully communicating their side and it doesn't match up with yours, it just is what it is. And that's trash. We got to stop that. That's a generational curse that we can't keep carrying that to the next generation. That's trash. Thank you for listening, y'all. So let's go ahead and get up out of here on that note. Make sure you're out here doing what you got to do to be mentally and emotionally healthy. It's crazy, man. Last week was so people with all the episodes, and I'm gonna put the link to D Murph. Did an episode with Penrose and I to talk about this candy corn debate, which I can't wait to see. Like, this started as just like a joke between friends over a year ago. So before Halloween last year, we were already on that. And it's just kind of grown into what it's becoming. And then we have ideas for how we come in next year. So like every October, y'all be looking out for this candy corn war and take your side. You know what I'm saying? Because you either eat it or you don't. That's it. Even if you eat it sometimes, you still eat it. So you either eat it or you don't. Choose your side, rep your set. You know what I'm saying? And watch how we come in next year. But I'm gonna put the link to the episode that I did with D Murph in the episode notes. But as I was saying, all that people, because I keep trying to tell you, I am not an extrovert. I am definitely an introvert. I am rejuvenated when I have time to myself. I put my phone on do not disturb a lot more than I ever have, just because having that alone time to just get stuff done, it's so good for me, just mentally, emotionally, even. So make sure you got to make sure you do what you have to do to take care of your mental and emotional health. If that means you got to withdraw from people to kind of just have some time for yourself, do that. Whatever that looks like for you. I never tell y'all what to do. I share what I do, but I never tell y'all what to do, because what's good for me might not be good for you. I just say, figure out what works for you, explore different ideas, whatever, and then incorporate that into your daily, weekly, whatever routine. That the point is just be mentally and emotionally healthy for your benefit. I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do, you know what I'm saying, other than be mentally and emotionally healthy, but it's for your benefit and it's for the betterment of your relationships with others. So make sure you're out here being healthy in your relationships. I told y'all about that toxic stuff Like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's damaging. And so many of our issues could be solved if even we humbled ourselves, checked ourselves. We're not always right. You know what I'm saying? And be kind to people, because you don't know what the hell people are going on. I talk to y'all a lot about, oh, I mean, it is a great season, but also it's not. There are some things like we still have not moved yet. And like leaving my job, basically being forced to, because it was not my plan to leave yet. Leaving my job kind of slowed that down. It's still gonna happen, but it's like it's not happened as quick. Yeah. So, anyways, that's just one thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. You don't know what people are going through. That's my point. So be kind. Also, make sure you're taking care of yourself physically. If you follow me on IG, or if you're my personal Facebook friend, you already know I've been back going hard on my Snatch 40s journey. My rest days are Tuesdays and Saturdays, and that's it. I'm alternating hip hop abs and turbo fire. So just kind of going through the stuff they have in the collections that I have. And that's it. Logging everything I eat. I'm not doing no specific diet. I have been eating decently in general, just because the older I get, certain things will upset my. I don't even think it has anything to do with age. I think it's just when I did keto and cut a lot of stuff out, I didn't add certain things back in. Doesn't mean I eat perfectly all the time, because your girl definitely had a little fun size thing of peanut butter M&Ms last night. So I do allow myself for stuff like that. But I've been on it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sticking with those through the end of the year. I put my starting picture up on IG. I'll put my progress up at the end of the year. And then I'll figure out another challenge or something to do, because challenges keep me going, and so does public accountability, because nobody ever asks me when I don't work out, where you been? But I know that I've made this stuff public. I know that I've talked about it on my show, and I know that I really want to get where I want to get. So that's super helpful. And then make sure you're taking care of yourself spiritually. Like I have said before on here, I'm pretty sure every morning, the first thing I do when I wake up is have my quiet time. I journal. I do read my Bible, although it's way heavier on the journaling side of things. So I've been reading like in the book of Psalms. So I'll read a psalm a day. My church is doing this like daily reading, and I'll listen to that later in the day, just to listen whenever. But like me actually kind of like digging in and whatever, that's what I've been doing. And I start my mornings with that. And I used to be kind of distracted with it. Like I would still check my phone or whatever. And now I had to just like become even more disciplined and not even be distracted with that. And today's actually the first morning that I just had it ended up being an hour. I don't really set a time frame on it, but it ended up being an hour. And it was just so good to just have that quiet time to just journal my thoughts and kind of see what I'm thinking, feeling, because as I've said before, I am an external processor. That's why I have the show. Sometimes I get revelation on different things while talking to y'all. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It just comes out, because like I said, it's not scripted. So everything I say is just whatever comes out, comes out. And that's just really how I am in life. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I blog too. Like I'm an external processor. Y'all, I'm just really looking at Sheeba out here flourishing. So make sure y'all are taking care of yourself spiritually too. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all soon. Like I said, if you want to see my costume, you got to get into the podcast happy hour. You feel me? This Saturday, October 30th on Khris's platform. Her Twitter link is in the episode notes at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. We're all dressing up. You might not be able to tell who's who. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not. You may be able to figure out who I am by process of elimination. We don't even know what each other is dressing up as. That's always how we do stuff. It's just, hey, this is the idea and we're like, okay, and it's always the grand reveal when we get on the stream or whatever. So it's going to be fun though, laughter, we do what we do, and we've been doing it for over a year. So if you're not new to it, you already know what it is. If you are new to it and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you something real quick and then I'm going to go. So myself, Khris from Shenanigans with Friends podcast, all docked up. Also, Jay from Jay's Quick 3, Audrey from Odd Tales podcast, and Autumn from the Lit Life podcast. Shout out to her because it's actually her idea to take our group chat foolishness and do a monthly live show with it. So we get together, each of us will bring a topic or something from our own show or whatever. It's kind of continue to evolve where it's never the same. And then we just have a podcast happy hour. Some of us are drinking, and I say some of us will drink. I haven't drank since August 1st. I thought I was only going to take the month of August, and I'm not saying I'm never drinking. I just haven't really had a desire to drink since I stopped. So it's fine. It don't, you know what I'm saying? I never needed alcohol to have fun in life, as y'all could see anyways. You feel me? I never needed to drink or any of that to be able to record. It's just became something that I would do here and there. But yeah, so fun times. Make sure y'all come through. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all have a great west side. No, y'all have a great rest of y'all day, morning, evening, weekend, night, whenever y'all listen to this. I appreciate y'all continuing to support me, and I will talk to y'all soon.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition, another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for